Hello everyone and welcome to the GMS Magazine channel. I am Paco Garcia, your host, and this is the GMS RPG Academy, the show in which I give you my hints and tips as to how to go about publishing your very own role-playing game. Yes, yours, because yes, you should publish it. So, in the previous episode, I was talking about, printing or no printing, both for you and for my patrons. And in this episode, I want to talk to you about distribution, which is something that you need to think about if you are going to preprint your game. Okay, crowdfunding is, the whole rage, understandably. I think it's given quite a shot in the arm to the industry and an awful lot of companies, and we have seen a lot of absolutely incredible games to come out thanks to crowdfunding platforms. And you should consider using it. We'll talk about that in the future. But once you have it, the thing is, when you crowdfund your project, you get enough money to be able to go to an offset print, which is admittedly better quality and better margins, as in way better margins, depending where you print. Whether you want to print in China or Europe or wherever it is, we can talk about that at some time. But once you have your book, there are two things you can do. One is to pay somebody to do all the distribution for you, or to do the distribution yourself. Doing the distribution yourself is what's going to cost you the least money, but it's going to cost you the most time. And as I was saying in the previous episode, that is time that you could be using to do something else instead. So at some point you may want to consider distribution. Also, you may want to consider distribution in more than one country. And for that, you are going to need a number of sales and a number of books. Now, I'm talking distribution, not fulfillment. Distribution, fulfillment is something that you use and it's a one-off. You use it for this, they get rid of the books, they send whatever they have to send, they package whatever they have to package, and that's it. They get a fee and done. Distribution is when they're actually going to store the book, when they're going to proactively go out there to stores, to shops, to websites, and sell the book for you for a fee. And that fee is going to be anything between a 35, 40, or even 45% of the sale price. Why? Because they need to get a small cut. When you sell to a shop, the shop is going to take between 30 and 35%. Okay, depending how many books they buy, depending on how well you know them, depending on what the cost of the book is, of the shelf life, of how many people are going to want to buy, it depends. But it's between a 30 and a 35%. Now, if the distributor has to give that discount to a store and they still need to make some money, then they need to get an even bigger cut from you. Usually a 40% is what it takes. And yes, they're going to take that 5-10% profit every time they sell a book. It's not a lot. It really is not a lot. Earning $4 out of a $40 book is not a lot. Because storing everything costs money. Yeah, storing a book may not cost an awful lot, but storing an awful lot of things, it requires a space that needs to be paid for, and electricity, make sure that everything is in good condition. Sometimes the distributor will do its very own packing, the vacuum sealing of the games. It requires some work. So distributors need to be well looked after. Of course, a distributor is not just going to store one thing. It's going to do an awful lot. That's where the strength comes in, that they may have 100 different products. Some distributors are going to demand exclusivity. Some are not. If they demand exclusivity, make sure that they can deliver. Ask them how many other products they have. What are their sales expectations? What are their forecasts? Ask them what other books they're actually distributing. Go to those people and ask if that is working for them. Ask them what the relationship is. When you put your trust in a distributor, you're putting your trust of probably your livelihood and probably the livelihood of your game. If that distributor gets into trouble, your game is going to get into trouble. You don't want that. You really don't want that. So find out as much as you possibly can about the distributor that you're about to use, because they can mean the difference between making it or breaking it. And I'm going to talk about a particular company that put their trust in a distributor and it just didn't work out at all. But I will do that for my Patreons. So that's it. If you're going to have an awful lot of books, remember to think about very, very carefully about what distributor you are going to use and in what countries. And if you need more than one, which is also a possibility. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for being there. As always, it's truly appreciated. By all means, do leave me your comments down there and your questions. I look forward to them every single time. But until the next time, I will be talking to you very, very soon. Take care. Hello everybody and welcome to the GMS Magazine channel. I am Paco Garcia, your host, and this is the GMS RPG Academy, showing its Hello everybody and welcome to the GMS Magazine channel. I am Paco Garcia, your host, and this is the RPG GMS GC Fascis.